Hey guys, and welcome to video 3. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about exercise strategy, how I put together a plan for you and programs for you to be able to help you achieve your goals in a shorter time frame than what would be on your own. So first of all, let's go into a wee bit more on why I put it together. So first and foremost, within Sports Rehab Ireland, I'd like to consider us exercise specialists in the same way as what you would expect your dentist or your doctor to do. You would expect them to know what they're talking about. So it's the same within coaching. As I mentioned in the first video, my background's within sports rehab. The main ethos of coaching that I kind of subscribe to is around strength and development of strength. So it depends again on what your goals are as to what training, what exercises are going to be best for you, and how we put that together with you to get the best result in the shortest possible time. As I mentioned though, I tend to stick with weight and creation of well-structured weight programs for an awful lot of people. The reason behind this is that we can help to develop strength. Strength has numerous benefits in terms of long-term health and longevity as we get older. Also short-term in terms of being able to help with muscle tone, definition, and performance benefits as well. Strength comes down to it, and it's hugely overlooked in a majority of people's training programs, and hence the reason why it's an area that I tend to really focus in and try to develop an awful lot more. It's one of those few areas that's hugely overlooked, just simply because it's intimidating. More often than not, when you go into the weights area, it's filled full of, more often than not, men, although I have heard women who grunt and shout and God knows what's going on. If you're new to it, it's not an area that you'd often want to go into on your own. It's also kind of scary, and being asked to lift a heavy weight and exercise with it can also be intimidating. So with the programs I try to create is that we're looking at a progression each week, each day. It would come in, we're looking to see something different. That doesn't mean that it has to be weight. It doesn't have to see the weight moving up. It could be something as simple as being comfortable using the weight, being comfortable in how you move, seeing changes in your mobility, the range of movement that you have, and how it feels to be able to move through those different ranges. They're all progressions, and we're looking for those from day to day, week to week. By using weight, what we can do is to create more energy in the short term and long term. It helps us to feel better, and it creates an adaptation within your body. We can create more adaptation by using a weight than what we can do by simply running on a treadmill. There are a couple of myths, however, with regard to weight. Everybody at some point has heard the no pain, no gain myth. Yes, from time to time when we go into the weights room, or when we go into the gym for that, we might feel sore afterwards. We might feel sore at the time, but that is not the aim and not the sole goal of training. We're not doing it so that we can turn around and feel tired. We're not doing it so we feel sore the next day. If that was what we trained for, it would be so much cheaper to go and run into a lamppost. You'll get up, you'll be sore at the time of it. You'll damn sure be sore the next day, and if you've ran for long enough, you'll probably be tired as well. Be cheaper than turning around and paying for a gym. The reason that we go to the gym is to see an adaptation, a change, and to see our body change the way we want it to look, in the mirror, and how we see ourselves and prefer to see ourselves. So that's the reason why we want to go to the gym. Soreness and tiredness aren't the main goals that we're looking for. It's wrong to pursue those two feelings from just training alone. So we're not looking for pain. What you can find is that after training that we may have pain, which can last for 1 to 2 days post-training. That's referred to as DOMS. Now I'm going to go into that in more detail in a later email. So we're looking for adaptation, we're looking for change, we're looking to see our weight maybe go down, we're looking to see our legs or arms get bigger, we're looking to see our numbers go up. At the end of the day, that's what we're focusing on, not the, oh my God, I'm tired and I'm sore. Win, not necessarily. Another big myth is that weights make women big. No, they don't. Weights have an ability, if you want to get big, they are something that you're going to have to use. So weights will not make a woman big. What they can do, however, is to create tone and to create shape. getting too toned as well is not something that you can do. You do not wake up overnight and go, oh my God, I've gone too far. You will notice differences happening in your body over a short period of time, and you can make adjustments with that short period of time. If you're happy with how you start to look, if you're happy with how you see yourself in the mirror, then we just modify and adapt the training program. If you want to continue on, if you like what you're seeing and think, I want more of this, then we continue to use the same protocols and the same principles that we've been applying from the start. So we're going back now to the no pain, no gain myth. But there's a difference between being incredibly sore and being, that's just about right. And a good way of being able to gauge that is your movement the next day or the next couple of days. We don't want to be training in such a way that it means that we can't move and we've difficulty moving the next day. For example, if you've difficulty getting out of bed the morning after you've trained, how do you think it's going to work when you try to go into the gym? You're not going to be able to perform as well. And it's about that recovery, and it's about our ability to continue to move that makes more of an impact upon our goals day in, day out, particularly when it comes to weight loss, rather than going, yay, my legs don't work. That doesn't help anybody, especially if you have to run across the road. That could end badly. So what we want to make sure is that it doesn't affect our ability to train well and train the next day. It also has an impact on something called NEAT. Now, I haven't gone groovy. NEAT is actually a thing. It relates to non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's not something I expect you to remember. It's simply a way and refers to our overall movement. So it's non-exercise activity. And that means that it's activity that we do outside of the gym. And it includes everything. In fact, all of this, gesticulation with my hands that you actually think I needed puppets, I can't stop unless I do this, is NEAT. It's burning calories, fidgeting, playing with a pen, blinking, bizarrely. These all relate to energy and require us to burn energy in order to process. And therefore, what we want to make sure is that our activities in the gym don't impact upon our activities outside of the gym. Because believe it or not, the gym doesn't burn that many calories. Yes, it's hugely important, and if you're looking to try and lose weight, it's hugely beneficial, but it's not the be all and end all. It's the icing on the cake, in effect. What we want to make sure is that on a day-to-day basis, we are burning calories, and that means making decisions that maybe we wouldn't normally make and building up new habits. So, for example, parking at the end of the parking lot away from the store and walking. Again, that is a big difference. If you decide to take a walk around the local shop and walk back, it burns more calories and allows you over the time to create more of an energy debt that allows you to be able to lose weight. But as I mentioned earlier, being sore isn't an effective measure of how well you're doing in the gym. You can feel sore, but it is not the be all and end all. Instead, better measures would be how comfortable you feel in the gym. And if you can turn around and continue to go into the gym, not feeling sore, but also just feeling as if you belong, not feeling out of place, not feeling as if you shouldn't be there. And then other indicators of progress are you able to start to do little bits that you couldn't have done before that you're now starting to be able to do and starting to find easier to do in the gym that you wouldn't have been able to have done in the past. And as I mentioned earlier, the overall amount of exercise that you do in the gym doesn't burn that many calories, contrary to what people will tell you. In fact, it doesn't really burn that much either. It does happen. You do burn more calories. You do burn more calories when you're in the gym, and you do burn a very small percentage more depending on what activity you do once you leave the gym. But it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big. So it's not about how much you burn in the gym, although it is important. It's also about how much that you burn outside of the gym, and those little activities that you might do, those mini sessions that you might do outside of the gym. Just going for a walk, simply going for a walk, that is a marvelous way of being able to see results quicker. Things like that are brilliant ways of being able to turn around and get many bouts of activity, many bouts of exercises in between each session in the gym. It doesn't have to be about what you do inside the four walls of the gym all the time. So the important take-home message from this video really is that training it's supposed to become part of your life. We don't want it to be something that takes over your life. That's not healthy either. And it's not supposed to be something that should be an annoyance. It shouldn't feel like a chore that you have to go to the gym. And that helps to build in the overall picture of health that we're trying to create, both in terms of how you look, but also just to be healthy. It has to be a two-way street in that. Okay, so hopefully that helps out with how we put together training programs for you, what we're expecting from training programs, and how we can track progress for you over the long term. But up for the next email, we're going to go a little bit more into DOMS and how that affects. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye.